Broadcasting from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820 Chicago's Progressive Talk, where facts matter. Welcome to the Gailey Show, the only daily LGBTQ progressive radio news and talk show in the country. I am your host, John Parker, professionally queer since 2014. In the studio with me today is my executive producer, Jim Pounds. Hey, Jim.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Well, yes, in the middle of July. We're still keeping Pride going on year round. So
year round.
What is on the show today? In the second half hour, Abigail Dillon is back with us. Abigail is the project manager for the Metropolitan Library Service Agency. He will be here to talk about more from Melsa's Pride reading list. But up first, Men Who Read is a Twin Cities book club for gay, bi, and straight men who love reading nonfiction books, want to read more, and meet like-minded men in person. Founder Paul Cram joins us to discuss how this book club's talk about the book club, founding it, its growth, annual book challenges, which are really interesting. You can see all the different books they've been doing on their website over the past few years. And also joining us, Andrew Doniger, one of their members, who's also known as the Deep Dive member, who is the one who does the homework and posts things for the guys in the reading group. So Paul, Andrew, welcome to the Gailey Show.
Hey, Jim. Hey, John. Great to be here.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Paul, for being here. Paul, if we can start with you about Men Who Read, like where did this idea come from? Why did you want to start it? And also, if you can get into the gay, bi, and straight men, like how did that also come into play there?
Absolutely. So this kind of born out, the whole book club, I'm an avid reader. I'm assuming most of your listeners are. I know you are, John. We've talked books before. I'm an avid reader. I was actually in a therapy session once, and my therapist is like, yeah, you're talking about books again, the book that you're reading, the latest, greatest book. And he just suggested, he was like, so you kind of are saying all this stuff like, oh, you're, kind of angsty about gay bars and stuff. He's like, why don't you take this love of books, because you keep talking to them to me? And he's like, start a book club or look for a book club or something, So that kind of like planted the seed. And I did what I do, and I looked online, and I was looking in my area in Minneapolis, and there was a women's book club right up the street from me. And I did reach out to them. And I was like, is it possible for me to come? I get that you're women only. And they were like, no. and I was like, totally fair. So I was like, well, then I'll start my own, kind of like off of the suggestion of the therapist. So I did. And fun fact, we actually started out specifically only for gay men. I was like, just gay men. And this gentleman named Andrew reached out to me, and I was having like this deja vu thing, because this was about a year into the book club, and I got this email from Andrew. It was a very nice email, and he just said, "Hey, I see you have a book club. It's not too far from me, and what do you think? I'm outing you, Andrew, as a as a cis straight man." And he's like, would it be possible? What do you think? And he's like, and he was really kind about it too. He's like, no pressure. And I talked to the guys about it a little bit, and we were like, actually, let's do this. Like, if there's men that want to come and talk books with us, and they are allies, bring it on. So and Andrew, like you kind of queued up there, John, has been a little rock star in our book club in a lot of ways. There's a lot of little fun facts, Andrew, that you've brought along the way. And what would we call that? I almost feel like it's like the like if in the book club, like, is it the historian role, like the person who looks up all of the, I don't know that, but Andrew definitely fits in that wheelhouse.
Dramaturg, is that what they say in theater?
The dramaturg would be the theater equivalent that knows all the history,
the bibliographer,
of the time period, and all of that. Yeah. Well, you're modeling this fantastic behavior. I wish we could duplicate this in every block of this country. That'd be fantastic.
Well, something that also came up for me is that we're seeing all of these surveys, about how men are feeling lonely or whatever, and a lot of them are just sort of set up for MAGA to be like, let's oppress all the people all over again. But I love that there's also kind of the Andrew Tate toxic masculinity. We can't deny that all of that is happening. So I love that you're creating this space for men who want to read, and particularly the books that you're reading are so widely different in, topics. I know it's a lot of nonfiction, or primarily
It's
nonfiction.
that was from the get-go. That was something that I decided. I was like, there's so many books in the world and so little time. Like, how do you choose? So I read a lot of nonfiction in my just regular life and fiction, but the fiction I read is really specific. Like, I'm like young adult fantasy novel, and that's about it. Like, so so I was like, well, let's do some nonfiction and see where this goes.
All right. I have a recommendation for you. Keepers of the Stones and Stars by Michael Barakiva. I'm queer Armenian American, and so every time I get a chance when someone's like, I want YA, I'm like, I've got YA for you. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Keepers of the Stones and Stars.
I was going to write it down here. Keepers of the Stones and Stars.
Tell us more about the nonfiction books. Like, how do you guys choose the books that you're going to do?
One of the guys from the group, his name's Brian. He and I were talking, and he's like, how did you choose that first year? And I was like, here's what we're gonna read. It developed though over the course of that first year. I learned a ton, about because it started on Meetup. If anybody's familiar with Meetup, like that network it's a social networking site for in-person events and stuff like that. And I have to say, I'm just going to take you through this because we meet in third spaces like libraries and parks and coffee shops. And I find like that has been really great for us in the context of, I think it's one thing to have a stranger come into your home or vice versa. That can be a little daunting. So I've liked that third space thing. The other thing is like my very first book club, it was me and one guy who I did not know, and we sat across from each other, and it was really awkward, and he never ever came back ever again. And that's how things grow. That's how I haven't gone back and looked at the first Galley show, but I'm assuming like there's a learning curve, right? We
There's a learning curve like on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah, I was going to say yesterday was a lot worse than today is.
Or it's a lot better, Tim, obviously. But you're big now. You're more than one person in this group.
We have a core group of I want to say there's generally 7 to 10 guys that come every month. But on like Meetup, we have there's 75 members, something like that.
Wow, there we go.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's been a good thing, and I no longer choose the books by myself. Like I am no longer the dictator person who is everyone must read this book.
Well, I want to ask Andrew that question. Did you all rise up in pitchforks and demand a change?
No. It wasn't a mutiny, if you're asking. No, it wasn't.
No violence. Okay, good.
No. It's very democratic.
Oh, good. Okay, thank goodness.
Yeah.
So how does it go through a round of you're next and you're next and you're next kind of thing?
No, basically, Paul's pretty good. This last year has been really good because he has a theme every month. Obviously, with June, it's a Pride book that we usually read, and then usually sticks February with love, but next August, I believe it's pick a book from your to be read list. So and then like sometimes like December will be a book about food. So
that must help that process by narrowing it into a theme. I like that.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's daunting to pick a book amongst, like you said, Paul, all the possibilities, the thousands of possibilities. I like that sort of focus.
We are talking with Paul Cram, who founded Men Who Read, which is a Twin Cities book club for gay, bi, and straight men, and one of its most active members, Andrew Doniger. So I want to hear more about the annual book challenge?
So
There may be like nothing there, but when I saw it and I saw on the
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
may
yeah,
be making this more dramatic than it actually is. But you do a annual book challenge.
and that challenge is actually built and made up of kind of our monthly prompt for each month that year. So like what Andrew was sharing, like I will take the year and look at it and be like, like Andrew said, like in February, we're going to read something that's kind of related to love. In June, we're reading, for the past couple of years, I've really liked the prompt was a book that's been a finalist for a Lambda literary award.
Oh.
And so like it opens up just it's focused, but it also gives us some options, like because we've done the thing before where it was just open, where it's like, okay, well, whatever we want to read, just throw the books into a pile this month and vote on them. And it was so like, oh my God, like these are all over the place. Like, you've got Aunt Annie's best cooking confections next to some, just something where it's just bizarre. So having a theme each month, it also is something that for me, what I love to do too is kind of like look at the year and be like, let's give this some shape. Let's not just read nonfiction. It's like, no, what's going on in the world? And like around Pride, like we've also read some books, the Lambda Book Awards. There was one, I just want to mention it really fast. It came from that, and it was the Upstairs Lounge Arson. And it dives into a piece of queer history that so well written, so well done. Would I have ever come across that book if not for book club? And no, no, I wouldn't. And would I also have taken the time to read it? No, like that's something with the book club too. And maybe you can back me up on this, Andrew, but I like to read a lot. There's a lot of things that I would never, ever read because I'm not the one that's voting for them.
I have to fit in a short break here. We're going to have more with Paul and Andrew from the Men Who Read Book Club, Twin Cities Book Club for gay, bi, and straight men. You can connect with more progressive news and radio at am950radio.com and heartlandsignal.com. You are listening to The Gailey Show on AM950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive voice where facts matter. How are we feeling? Feel good?
Feeling good.
Based on that, is there anything like where we were going there that you want to definitely touch on in the second segment? I'm assuming when you say men, trans men are included as well in that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
We've had a few.
Just wanted to double check. Sorry. I'm still getting over a cold and hydrate. Paul, you were going to say something.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Andrew said it. I also in this next segment, I just need to remind myself, I talk a ton. So other people jump in. I need to just, yeah.
I think the balance is getting pretty good here. So
yeah.
That's why I asked Andrew what he really thought about something, because I thought if there's trouble, we're going to see it now. But there wasn't any trouble. So
see Paul in the background.
Well, only the YouTube people would see that. All right. Well, if we're ready, the second segment is just under 9 minutes. If you're all good to go, then Patrick, whenever you're ready. Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I am your host, John Parker. We are coming up on the bottom of the hour already. We are talking with Paul Cram, who founded Men Who Read, a Twin Cities book club for gay, bi, and straight men. Trans men also included in there. Always very important to say that is also. You all seem like a very inclusive group. Also with us is Andrew Doniger, one of the most active members, as I have heard here in the break. They told me that, but Andrew, I am curious. Talk to me about the conversations that you all have and how that plays out, because a lot of times we just hear like, oh, people they read the book, or sometimes they don't read the book, and then there's just sort of this conversation or whatnot, that stereotype, right, of the book club. But you're in there and you're adding additional things and you're posting them to folks of like his context. And talk to me about the conversations that you're having about each book.
A lot of the conversations usually start with sometimes we have one person who's very opinionated. He usually starts the conversation and we kind of go from there.
You can say their name if you want to.
To clarify,
No.
you don't mean me, right?
No. But no, everybody has everybody gets a chance to say what they think about the book, how they like the book, if they liked it at all. But Paul usually brings cards with questions on them, and we pass them around. I blindly, randomly pick my card. I do not read through them, but other people tend to pick what they want to, what they think they can answer. So, it's kind of like the first half. We just kind of all share our thoughts about the book, what we liked, what we didn't like. And then usually the second half, we kind of go around so everybody gets a chance to talk and say, answer a question on what they think the book was like for them.
What are some of the prompts that are on the cards?
Oh, one that keeps coming up from time to time is, what did you enjoy eating while reading this book? that seems to be a staple. They're random questions like, would you recommend this to a friend, or would you? What was your? What did you think of the writing of the book? And kind of just like open-ended questions that would fit any type of book that we would read, basically.
And a little bit by design too, like some of them to what I like about the prompts quite a bit. Well, obviously I like it because it gets the wallflowers to talk, where it's like, I want everybody to be able to talk. So that's a little bit by design as well. But the prompts are like the one you said, Andrew, it's silly, and we all laugh because there's been books that we've read. Like one of them, I have it right in front of me. We read this book called Death's Acre, and it's all about like forensic like decomposition of bodies and like studying that. And so like that question popped up, like, well, what were you eating while reading this book? And I don't know, like it just it made it really funny. But
it came up again while you were reading this book.
Second time.
I love the question though, because I'm an emotions eater. So when I'm feeling feelings, there's like certain foods that I want to go to, and so I think that's a really interesting question of what it brings up a way of saying these are the feelings that I was feeling because I was eating a whole bunch of carbs, or whatever that it happens to be. I think that's a really fascinating prompt to be using.
Yeah.
Do you have other book recommendations?
Say again.
Do you have book recommendations for us?
I have a few book recommendations. You have some too, Andrew?
Oh, I got a list.
Well, why don't I just mention really quick, because I already said it.
Sure.
I highly recommend Death's Acre. This one, it delves inside the legendary forensic lab, The Body Farm. I actually think the title of this book is not great. I think that a better title would have been like the beginnings of like forensic studying like forensics when it comes to body decomposition. Like it's really, really, it sounds super, super macabre, and it is, but there's something really beautiful in his name's Dr. Bill Bass. There's just something really beautiful. He talks about his life and working within that field. And like, he was like a pioneer back in like the 50s and 60s. and he dives into like he goes places that I wasn't expecting with this. Like he was a part of some of the things when they did excavations in the Dakotas for burial sites and stuff. And he talks about how now he's like, he didn't feel great about that. Where he was like, actually, some of this impacts things in a much bigger way. So I feel like the title of the book doesn't do the book justice. And that's actually another prompt that we have is like, how would you title the book if different? So
That's great.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have gotten any of that from the title. Andrew, how about for you? Book recommendation.
Well, if you like true crime, which I do, I would have to say a book we read last year called The Good Nurse. This is about Charles Cullen, who was a registered nurse that basically killed people that he was taking care of. He would induce diabetes medication, insulin into their bags, and he basically killed them that way. He was convicted of 28 murders, but they say he may have committed up to 300 to 400 murders.
Right.
Wait, what?
And
Is this like a Jack Kevorkian thing, or is he like a serial killer?
We saw that.
He's a serial killer. Yeah.
That television movie, wasn't that? What's his name?
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I'll think of his name.
Oh,
We saw that.
There is a Netflix special on this book.
Red Mane.
Red
Mane.
Eddie
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So that's where I kind of went into the deep dive. I found the Netflix special. I found another documentary on Netflix about it. I also looked at the court proceedings on YouTube. You can find them there. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like everybody in medicine kind of trusts each other to be doing the right thing or something, and they don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Court proceedings, though. That's some extra. That's
you're
nice
really
touch. That's a nice
something.
touch there, Andrew.
Yeah.
You're getting in the submarine.
Well, and then like the news segments that they had on them, I watched those too.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Well, I've got just about a minute left, so I guess my question is, are you accepting new members? And if so, how can folks connect with you?
100%. We're accepting new members. Easiest way for people to find out more info about the book club. I'm an actor by trade. So I have all the book stuff on my website. So just iampaulcram.com and click on book club.
iampaulcram.com.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And book club. All right. We will put that link in our show notes and on our website. Andrew, Paul, thank you for joining us here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
If you've got more book recommendations, we will absolutely have you back on the show if you want to talk about that. And if you're in a recruiting period as well, we'll absolutely have you back here. But thank you for joining us today. This show and Progressive Radio is not possible without our advertisers and sponsors. Shop with them, do business with them, tell them that you heard about them on The Gailey Show on AM 950 Radio, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and WCPT, Chicago's Progressive Talk.